All right, two big wins across the country in mayoral elections, one in Wichita, Kansas, and the other in Charleston, South Carolina. Lily Wu of Wichita, Kansas won. She defeated an incumbent, and she is a libertarian who ran on public safety and economic growth. Two very important issues that we want in our lives to be great. Anyway, she defeated incumbent Brandon Whipple on Tuesday night by over 10,000 votes or 15%. And that's huge, defeating an incumbent. That means people bought into her vision. Let's play a little bit of video, then we'll talk about her platform here and why this is important going forward.
And Lily, I did want to ask you, since we're live here, you thanked your family, first of all, and secondly, you wanted to thank the voters. But the third thing you said was interesting to me. You wanted to work very closely with the city commissioners.
That's right. I'm really excited about working with 6 other council members who all care about Wichita. And I want to be that consensus builder and bridge builder that gets an agenda forward that really works for all of Wichita. I believe that every city council member wants to work on public safety, wants to work on providing economic opportunities for all, and wants to make sure that citizens know what local government is doing. So we need to restore trust in City Hall.
Now, you thanked everybody who worked on your campaign. What do you attribute the win to?
I am just really grateful that people believed in a vision that truly united everyone in our community towards the basics of local government, but also an excitement that is nonpartisan. And I kept it very much to the spirit of what it's supposed to be, because we're all in the same team. We're all Wichitans, and I need all Wichitans to be part of the solutions moving forward. We have a lot of challenges moving ahead. Homelessness, we have a mental health crisis, and we have a police officer shortage in our community, which is a workforce problem. And we need to make sure that we have a community that not only respects, but also provides the resources for our officers to be part of our community towards helping solve and reduce crime in Wichita.
Lily Wu, our next mayor. Thank you.
And see, those are big issues that people actually really care about. She mentioned earlier in the video, I didn't play it, but that they were down over about 100 officers in Wichita. And she ran on public safety. She will never lose focus on the core services of local government: police, fire, water, roads, and infrastructure. And she said, respect. Day one, Lily will restore the relationship between the mayor's office and Wichita Police Department. She wants to ensure officers have the respect and resources necessary to succeed. So she wants to keep officers there. She wants to bring the police force up to par as far as staffing is concerned. She wants to strengthen the economy, support existing businesses. Strengthening our economy begins with engaging, supporting, and collaborating with existing businesses, low-hanging fruit that should be nurtured. She plans to create an advisory board including education and business leaders. Yeah, and she also ran on restoring trust in City Hall, build a united community. Now, all these things are going to take work and they're going to take time, but the fact that she ran on this platform and she defeated an incumbent by over 10,000 votes is pretty telling. It's pretty remarkable, actually. And this is a top 50 city in America as far as how big they are. So we have a libertarian who defeated an incumbent Democrat, who I believe he was in the House of Representatives in Kansas. He ran for mayor, won, and then now he got defeated in a landslide by a libertarian who's running on public safety and cleaning up the homelessness, mental health issues, and strengthening the economy, all of which are very important in local government. I don't want to live in a place full of homeless people, crime, the police aren't respected, the economy is weak. Where I live, strong economy, police are respected here. Very, very, very minimal homelessness. You maybe see one here or there, but then they leave. Other than that, we have a very good city government. Now let's go to Charleston, South Carolina. Charleston, South Carolina elects the first Republican mayor since 1877. I've never been to Charleston, but I know somebody who has parents that live there. This is a red state, but Charleston, was a blue city, but obviously they've had enough of whatever's going on there for them to elect a Republican mayor. His name is William Cogswell, and he was in the House of Representatives. I believe he was a rep. He was a rep in South Carolina. So here's a Republican. And it was actually a pretty close race. Let's check out some video here.
And we're ready for a new direction that's smart, safe, and sound. Y'all have heard those words enough.
Good evening. Thanks for joining us tonight. Tessa is off. It's a big day in the Holy City as the people have chosen a different man to lead them into the future. Challenger William Cogswell defeated incumbent Mayor John Tecklenburg in the runoff election, and it was a tight race. News 4's Claire Weber is covering William Cogswell's campaign watch party at Bar Mash in downtown Charleston. Claire?
All right. As you can see there, he won in a very tight race, 51% to 49%. He's declared victory. It looks like he is going to be the next mayor of Charleston, South Carolina, which is a big city up there. And I've heard great things about Charleston, great downtown, great tourist areas, but then I've heard that it's a lot of crime surrounding that. I don't know how true that is. I've heard different things from different people, but I looked on their crime statistics, and they are about 14 cities in America or worse than Charleston. 14%. So they're near the bottom, as far as I can see. And I haven't heard great things, like I said, from different people. I would like to visit one day because I heard it's a nice downtown area, like I said. But this is big because going to 2024, I think crime is going to be a big issue for a lot of these local governments. We're seeing this. We saw this in Long Island. I believe it was Long Island, where Republicans won a lot of seats up there on the city council. And we're seeing this across the country in a lot of places. Where more middle of the road people, Republicans, are winning these races in the local governments, running on crime, running on economy, things that affect your everyday lives. And this is important because if we can get, I'm not going to get ahead of myself, but if we can get a landslide election across the board, up and down the ballot, all the way from the president, all the way down to your local races, we can really turn this thing around. And this is why I'm hopeful, is because we're seeing this across the country as well. Argentina, Netherlands, we're seeing more populists or even people who are just more right-leaning or have common sense winning in these elections. So this is a good sign, and it's probably not talked about much in the mainstream media because these are libertarians and Republicans winning these local races in these big American cities. Charleston, South Carolina is a big city. Not as big as Dallas or Los Angeles, obviously, but it's a well-known city. And then they get a lot of tourism there. And Kansas City, like I said, is a top 50 city in America. So this is good news. We need to take every bit of good news we can get going to 2024 because the mainstream media is going to cover a lot of these things up. But all right, guys, thanks for listening. Like and subscribe. See you next time. Thank you. Take care.